It's happening?
It's happening.
Yay! I am Mucci. I am your DM. I am everything in the world and around the world and everyone that is not these three. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Us three?
You three?
At the same time?
All at the same time.
You can go first.
Oh, okay. We're not sisters, we say it together, but...
Yeah, we'll say it at once.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Hannah.
Stop this.
Okay. I'm Sophie. I am playing Rhosmenne, the Crimson Aegis, daughter of Themis.
Ooh.
A full title.
My name is Hannah. I'm playing Mel, for short, daughter of Athena.
Wait, what's Mel? What's the long one?
You don't know.
When you like to know.
When you like to know.
Weather boy.
Weather boy. I'm. Where's the? This one. It's
right
here.
here.
I'm Wendy, and I'm playing Muqigo, the bard. Muqigo, the bard.
Oh,
What?
Son of.
Yeah, go ahead and...
Calliope.
Oh, are we doing our god? Oh, right.
Godly
Son of
parent.
Calliope, the head muse.
The head.
Don't get it twisted.
We've got a paladin, a
Ranger.
ranger, and a bard
Bard.
in our party, in our 3-person trio party.
Let's go half-casters.
Half-casters. At least we got some healing
Sort of
spells.
half-caster as well.
You've been talking about that.
Full cast, right?
What are you talking about?
Bards are just bards.
Birds are birds.
Just bards.
We love a bard.
We love a bard.
We love a
We
bard.
love a bard. Nobody
Hey.
said anything about
We,
another
on this program, there's a bard slander.
No bard.
I don't wanna-
It's just that you started off saying just bards. That's a
That's-
qualifier.
Yeah, you're right, and I apologize.
And that's the kind of language that we will not be using in this.
This is the community agreement.
This is a community agreement.
Put it up on the board.
So we are doing a campaign that is based in ancient Greek myths, which means that you'll see different characters that you might recognize, like godly parents, like of our demigods in this campaign. However, we as a group, me as a DM, one of my rules is that I don't like using any context around slavery or sexual assault. That's just a thing that I do. And that will inherently change every single Greek in this story. So just know going in that that's not going to be part of this, and we're going to have everything's going to be a little bit weird anyway. We also know that, like, Greek myths, everybody knows about them to some extent, but this is in a world where our, don't be distracted by the man at the window.
Sorry. I'm locked in.
I'm
locked in.
focusing, not looking
It started
at
raining a little, or no, it is the man. It is the man. No, it is the man
There's
at the window.
construction right outside of my second story window, so there is a man that just sometimes appears, so that'll be distracting. So, the PCs will be living in this world as living, breathing entities that can change the stories as they go, so they will be presented with myths and people that you might recognize, but the stories may not always end the way that we know them as, depending on our free agents here. Period.
That scares me.
We are also very excited to share this. Like, the reason that we decided to share this at all was because I posted an opening monologue for our campaign of when we were doing our session 0, and everybody loved it a lot. So I said, wouldn't it be funny if we did this? And they all agreed and had enough tech and know how to do it. So thank you so much to Sophie and Hannah for figuring out all the tech.
I had
for doing
nothing
all of
to
this.
do with this. I just sat here.
I also would
We
not
love
have
you.
been able to do this myself. There's so many chords around me, and I don't know
Brains.
where,
Okay.
or what they're going.
Also brains, but mostly beauty.
So just a bard.
Just a beautiful,
Just beauty.
beautiful-
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How much of this am I going to have to take before we get into this?
Sorry you're stunning.
Sorry.
Sorry you're so sexy attractive.
You don't know me for who I really am. You really only think I'm pretty.
Is
that's it?
this Joe or is this Muqigo?
That's the
No, you know that's not Muqigo.
lead.
All right, everyone. Okay, so the opening monologue that you may have seen online and that you have all seen too many times now.
Person.
I am going to include. I have edited it slightly, so there are more interesting things. But unfortunately, because it's what I originally used with Alan Menken from Hercules, YouTube isn't going to like that. So I had to change it, and it's not going to be as good. It's not going to be as good as the Hercules one, but we're going to do it anyway.
Oh, by the way, before this gets confusing, I go by Wendy, I go by Joe. So, when they all start calling me Joe, they are in fact referring to
Talking to
me.
the right person.
I was surprised that you introduced yourself as Wendy.
I got stressed about it. When you said that you wanted to start with me, I went over there because the whole time I was stressing about, like, I didn't
What
think
your
about
name
this the entire time.
Sure.
You're good.
What,
We don't want
who
you
am
to.
I?
And guess
Who am I?
what? We're
The
gonna
endless
mostly
question.
refer to you by your character name.
Yes.
You're gonna refer to me as Joe.
Because we're so smart and in character.
And in
I'm not
character.
going to refer to you, so what do I...
How would you do that?
We're just junking on Joe for some reason.
I love it. And capturing it live.
For the fans.
Well, as long as it's will forever be on the internet. All right, and away we go.
Hooray!
We return now to the time of legends, the forge where true heroes are born, not fleeting champions, but timeless, world-shaping forces. A time when adventure was not sought, but summoned. An age where the stars themselves seem closer as mortals, frail in an age where the stars themselves seemed closer. As mortals, frail in flesh but fierce in will, stamped their stories into the marrow of the world, not with ink, but with blood spilled in valor, sweat born of ceaseless striving, and tears shed for love too wild to tame. In those days, a name was not given, it was earned. In fire, in grief, in glory, and when spoken, it echoed across generations as more than a name. It meant hero.
Yeah.
Heroes like Hercules, who faced death and triumphed carrying his beloved from the jaws of the underworld. Heroes like Bellerophon, who dared defy Olympus, tamed the untamable Pegasus, and cast down the Chimera in a blaze of glory. But no defiance lasts forever. The gods, those cosmic children, weave the lives of mortals like thread through fingers. They revel in the torment, the heartbreak, the impossible tests they lay before us. Its tragedy becomes tradition. Oedipus, cursed to seek truth and find ruin. Eurydice stepped from salvation, forever falling back into shadow, and we, centuries later, still hold our breath that maybe this time she'll return. Maybe this time Orpheus won't turn around. But it is not a choice. It is fate. Fate. Not a whisper of prophecy, not a wish cast on stars, but an unyielding end etched in time before the tale is ever told. Yet even now the loom stands before us, ancient and wise, its frame carved from the bones of forgotten titans. The threads of mystery, heartbreak, and victory lie loose, waiting for hands bold enough to weave them anew. Through the power of word and will, I challenge all to claim this as our moment, fleeting through it, though it may be, to cast aside those wretched sisters of fate and claim this tapestry as our own. To forget those so-called heroes, for their hour of glory is over, as ours is only just beginning. Now we must spin something new, brighter, bolder from the ruins of what was. Today, friends and countrymen all, we are the authors of destiny, and together, hand in hand, we will march to the gates of Olympus, look eternity in her ancient and glorious face, and declare once and for all that we are the gods! Everyone roll initiative! How'd we do?
Good.
Okay.
Pretty good this time.
You want to tell me what they are?
I got an 18. 14. 12.
Okay, great. Let's do it. Rhosmenne.
Yeah.
You awake, catching a breath you didn't know you were holding. You feel heat around you suddenly. You realize you're on a plank of wood? No, it's rocking. You're in a boat. A boat. You look up, look around, you see a figure standing before you. Its skeletal hand reached out in front of you, waiting.
I'm gonna study the figure. So is it just a...
Cloaked, head down, cloak is over the face so you can't see it. Completely large cloaked figure, so amorphous that you can't tell quite how tall, how large. The only thing that you can tell is that there is a skeleton's hand in front of you.
Yes,
Bone white.
Truly.
Bone white.
Yeah.
Starkly different from the black cloaks.
And would I recognize this figure?
Make an insight check.
That's a 4.
Yeah, but a nat.
No.
A 4, I'm sorry.
You have to tell me you.
I'm sorry.
Nat ones in this house are automatic failures, so no. No clue.
I have no clue.
No idea.
Okay.
You suddenly feel, as you're trying to remember a history, a past, maybe somewhere to place this figure, you suddenly flash back to your last moments. Will you introduce your character to us?
Why, yes, I will.
And their last moments on the
Yeah.
mortal plane.
So, I'm, as stated, Rhosmenne, the Crimson Aegis, daughter of Themis. She is a tall woman. She's 6 foot.
Damn.
She is well built with sharp features, golden eyes, and a constantly furrowed brow. She has striking long red hair peppered with feathers, and wears the scars of many battles on her face, neck, body, arms. She doesn't have any armor on right now, does
She does not have any armor on. You look down and see that where you would normally see your bright armor, shining as you always keep it well kept, instead is the simple underclothings that you put underneath that no one is ever to see.
Yeah. I think Rhosmenne is taken off guard by not having her armor on. She's very used to being in a strong position. Okay, with the creature, she's gonna look at the figure and I don't have anything.
Its hand stays in front of you, and you have a moment thinking back, what happened right before I woke up in this boat?
The last moment that she remembers is she was in Athens, and was it Athens? Yeah. And she was after somebody on a mission for her mother, which she often did. And as that was happening, she found the figure. She thought it was the person she was supposed to be finding. She kind of put her hand on his shoulder or their shoulder to try to talk to them, and she doesn't really remember what happened, but there wasn't a conversation. He pulled out his sword and sliced her head off. And the last thing that she remembered was blinking and kind of opening her mouth to make a sound from the ground as she watched her body. And then she was here.
You hear the sword swing, decapitating you from your own body in that last moment. You feel the last impulses of a brain no longer connected to a nervous system try to reach out. And then you woke up here, in a boat, with a skeleton's hand in front of you, and you realize you're in the Underworld, and this is, in fact, someone who is supposed to take you to where you will live eternally.
Damn.
You said
Cloak and a skeleton hand?
yeah, no, I know. My character rolled a nat 1,
That's
so I didn't know.
Okay.
Okay, I know.
Beauty and pain. You're off to a really great start. Wow.
So she's gonna feel her neck, and there is a deep scar all the way around it, thick, still freshly healed. She's gonna realize, do I have a pouch of coins? I feel myself like there's gonna be something here in the real world.
You start patting places. You realize that you have one coin on you. It is a coin that has the symbol of your mother on it. and it's the only thing on you besides the clothes that you're wearing.
She's going to hold it out, and before she puts it in the hand, she's gonna kind of. Have you talked? My mother might have plans for me, so if you haven't.
Just a full Nepo baby moment. But have you talked to my mom? I think
don't know
you
if
really
you've-
need to.
Have you? Because she might have other plans for me. So
Head down, cloaked face, his hand outstretched, hasn't moved this entire time.
and she's gonna put it in his.
As you drop the coin in the hand, you watch each finger articulated back, over, open, and the coin is gone. The cloaked figure turns and begins ferrying you down. It's in this moment that you realize that the river that you're on is made of fire. And you would recognize it through your understanding of what the Underworld is as the river Phlegean.
Bless you.
I knew how to say this at one point. You're on a river of fire.
Well, yeah.
No, anyway, I rolled a nat 1.
Yeah.
For those who want to look this up, is Phlegethon.
Oh yeah. See, I should
looks
have
out-
like B.
she looks out at the water.
You're
Smart.
Ooh, fire river. Ooh.
trying to remember which one is this one called.
It's just fast.
It's something. And as you're trying to remember the name, you feel that this heat coming off is not heat that you're feeling on your skin, it's heat that you're feeling in your body. It's hatred is coming off of these flames and enveloping you, that you're suddenly coward and angry, and every resentment that you've ever felt in your life is suddenly bubbling up in this moment as you're suffocated by the flames around you. The ferryman continues to move, and you see that the flames that are up around you slowly come down, and they come down, and as they come down, you realize that you're on your right is a field of masses. It looks like maybe dirt. No, it's not dirt. You see just layers and layers of something. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Go better.
You got it. What's another bad one?
20 and natural.
Or as a friend of mine calls it, a bastard 20.
Period. We do have that energy.
You see, as the flames come down around, you see that this is a mass of bodies in different forms that look like they have been there. The ones that you can see that are on the bottom look like they have been there for so long that they are just slowly being crushed as more and more come on top of it.
This is the Underworld? Duh!
Girl, you knew this.
Well, yeah, it's just...
I don't know. Go ahead.
You would recognize this as the slums of the undistinguished dead. These are people that were buried unknown when they died, and were not given a proper burial, and therefore their souls will forever be camped on top of each other. And you see that what you thought were corpses are actually living souls that are just buried beneath others and can barely move. And you float by as you continue to go. You suddenly see you move around a corner. The flames continue to move down, so now they are just coming up and just licking the sides of the boat. They're no longer coming around you, and you feel as they continue to go down that those get released from top to bottom as those feelings of resentment and hate lower and lower and lower. And as you look back one last time at the heap of bodies behind you, you see what you catch just as you round the corner, maybe a glint of red that you might recognize.
You guys, I'm buried in the slum.
Yeah.
You come upon this large stone entrance. that is just a long hallway into nothing. There's no light farther down, and the boat comes to a stop. You see a small set of steps that would allow you to get off. The ferryman turns, gestures with a skeletal hand out towards the steps, and waits.
I think Rhosmenne has kind of like, she's on the back of the boat, because when she saw that pile and with the anger and the building up inside of her, she kind of like leaned over and started just like gripping, like, and couldn't, just crunched in. And then as it kind of like eased, she barely even noticed when they like, and so as they like, the hits the shore, the boat hits the shore. Oh, hit the shore. Well, yes, indeed. She kind of turns and realizes what she's doing and kind of like, oh. Okay. Sees the gesture. And she kind of steps out. I guess all of the lake is fire, right?
The lake is fire.
Yeah, so she doesn't like wade.
Don't.
She just get out onto the stove. She looks at the dark cave entrance, foreboding. Oh, do I have? Can I use my cantrip, my light bearer cantrip, in the afterworld? Okay, period. Not so scary no more.
Tell me what your magic looks like.
Yeah. She kind of gets out of the boat and heads up to the cave, and I think with this spell, she goes like with her hand, and it's not a regular color, it's like the golden yellow flame just kind of sits in her hand, flaming.
As it sits flaming, you feel a sense of relief. Oh, okay, you're not going to be in complete darkness.
Yeah.
As you turn, do you turn back to the ferryman before, or do
Yeah,
you
I
just
do.
continue to approach?
I look at him.
You look around and you see that there's nothing.
But darkness?
The fire is there. There are now embers on the river, but the boat, the ferryman, are gone.
Through we go. So she turns around with her little fire and heads into the cave.
You see that this entrance to the cave. Actually, make a perception check for me.
This one did good for me. So.
They're spicy.
8.
Okay, perfect. The cave's entrance is, at first glance, you think natural rock, naturally formed. And as you step into it and your light starts to emanate towards the sides of this cavern, you realize that once you step past the entrance of it, the sides of it are definitely hewn, that there has been rock work done on these that make them smooth and that have etches along them that don't make sense to you much. They don't look like words or pictures, they just are kind of moving about a bit, and every time you glance away from one, it seems that the next time you look at it, it's slightly different. As you come around a corner, you're required to take a hard left. And on that hard left, you realize that the corner it's taking, a bit of it is, a chunk has been like broken off on that corner. And from that bit that's been, the chunk that's off, there are 4 scratches deep in the rock along the hull.
How big are they?
As you continue. They're deep, they're,
Like my hand size or like...
no, each individual one is probably about this big,
Okay.
and they're very evenly spaced.
Okay. I'm gonna go touch him.
Go make an investigation check for me.
16.
You go up, you touch, do you put your fingers inside, or are you pressing your hand against it?
I kind of
Graze?
along, yeah, with my fingertips.
As you graze your hand against these scratches, you're overcome with a vision that overtakes your entire body of senses, that you suddenly feel that your body is much larger than the one that you're used to. It is currently tightened and closed off, and that one bit of your hand has been able to be wrenched free and is moving against this hall as a large scream erupts from your mouth, and in the moment that it reaches your actual lips and you actually make a sound in your body, the vision disapparates, and you feel this thrumming of something ancient, something older than even the oldest thing that you've ever interacted with.
You just got possessed, dude.
Yeah, I did. I just back and did I wake that up? Be honest.
Make a perception check. See if there's anything new going on.
Be honest.
Be honest.
Did you say which?
Perception.
Okay.
Or you can make an argument for something else if you're like trying to figure out if it's magic or history or.
I fear I'm rather dumb with those. So.
Okay, great.
Wait, survival? I like need to know if a monster's gonna come attack me.
There are no monsters coming to attack you currently. You have a sense, there's something about, as this continues, like, it's as if you've activated some drum beat that's suddenly going, and as you walk away from the scrape in the wall and it suddenly gets lighter and lighter until it disappears altogether, that drum beat continues and gets quieter, and there's something familiar about it, but you can't quite put a finger on. But it's something that feels as if there's a memory at the very back of your brain that you can't quite grasp that would explain why that feels familiar. As you move through the maze, you find that you come at a crossroads, a left or right that you get to decide.
Is there any difference between the two when I hold up my little flame?
You hold up your flame and you realize that the one on the left, your flame does not emanate light as much as the one on the right. It seems that the dark, in the way that light disapparates darkness and has reaches where it reaches out and then stops, the darkness seems to be having that effect on your light when you go to the left side.
Okay. She's like, oh, yeah. I feel my hey. She's got her heartbeat pounding her chest, but she sits there and she goes, already dead. Work it up. And she walks into the left.
As you continue down the left, you feel that darkness come over your magic until it is just the tiniest ball of light that you have to put up right in front of your face to even see it yourself. So it's not emanating past, you're not seeing anything past your own hand. That humming, that drum beat comes back, and now with a chorus of drums, of sounds, ancient, familiar, and they get louder and louder, and your light, until your light just entirely disappears. You walk forward and feel that the ground that you now can no longer see starts to change. It was cave, it was hewn, it was rock, and now you're on sand, you're on bark maybe, there's something that's different here. And as you continue to move through, you find that you can't sense the direction anymore. You knew that you were going left, you knew that the walls were on either side of you, and now you feel like you could be in an open field for all you know. No clue where you're headed. The darkness is now enveloping not only your eyes, but feels like it's coming in as each breath that you take, that it's enveloping your entire body to the point that you can't quite feel it. And as with each breath that you take, it's like gulping in water at this point. The darkness is coming all the way down into your lungs. You can't breathe. You are suddenly being suffocated. And with that moment of clarity of, I shouldn't have done this, you pass out. You wake up again in front of that left and right fork.
I'm gonna go right.
She's gonna look at the left. And then she's gonna go right.
What exactly compelled you to do the wrong thing the first time? You know what I mean? What? She said, this one is darker. The darkness is eating your light, but on this one it's more radiant. And you said,
Well, she justified.
that already?
I'm already done. And I
already
think,
gotcha.
you know, I crave knowledge. I crave
See
knowledge.
what you do.
I can't.
Well, I feel like the knowledge will. You know what? Go ahead.
Just because she's dumb doesn't mean she doesn't want to know more. Maybe she wants to be smart and she's not, and that's an insecurity.
She'll find
Justice
in a
for
dark
dumb
way.
people.
Justice for dumb people.
Justice for dumb.
That's what we're gonna call this episode. Is justice for dumb
people. Bards.
No.
And
For dumb people and
bards.
just bards.
You take a right, and you immediately feel your light coming brighter. And
It's like a little tractor step.
and very quickly you are. Oh no! Don't do that. Sorry. Bad things.
I need it.
You immediately start hearing the sounds of water tinkling around you, and you turn to a right, and you see that there's like a normal river of water in front on your left, and a staircase on your right that goes up. A very tall staircase.
You know what? I was on a fire river.
I'm gonna have a cup of that little water. I can cup that. So I think I need a little. I'm gonna have a little
You
drink.
feel a little part.
I need a drink.
I'm in the Underworld. I'm gonna go ahead and do this.
Consume that water.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Maybe
for
have
us.
some pomegranate while you're at it.
Okay.
Hey.
Constitution save. 17.
That is very good. You're drinking from the river Styx. You immediately feel yourself just you abandon all hope, all dreams, all wishes, leave your body entirely.
Make a better choice.
You feel yourself lying at the edge of what?
I'm just looking at a chat.
What is it saying?
It's Bryce. Do the right thing.
Don't tell me what to do, Brian. I'm gonna drink the river Styx and there's nothing you can do about it.
You feel your body go limp as you're lying next to the river Styx and just feel there's no point. Why even get up?
She just starts like,
Oh yeah, when you're like on a boat and the water's yeah.
Oh yeah, like when you're on a
my mom
boat.
didn't care and
Sometimes
I
I
died.
don't.
And
Did everything for her for my entire life, and she just let me die and just go in and doesn't even care.
And from there, we're going to move to Mel. You wake up, catching a breath you didn't know you were holding. You cough.
Yeah, she coughs. She for sure.
She's ill.
She's
So-
also sick.
You're so invested in this character.
Yeah. Committed to the bit.
Committed. You realize that you're lying on wood that is moving. Boat. Okay. You open your eyes. You see a skeletal figure standing. A figure that is cloaked, head down, cloaked face, skeletal hand in front of you, waiting.
I pat my pockets. Do I have a thing?
You have one coin on you. On the coin is the symbol of Athena.
Oh, I see. I see how it is.
The skeletal hand takes your coin and it disappears. It turns around and the boat starts moving. and you have a moment to reflect on the moments before you were in this boat. Will you introduce Mel to us?
Yes! Okay, so Mel is a ranger. She's a human. She is a somewhat of a spy, sort of. She's trying to do her own thing as an emissary of Athena involved in the Trojan War. And so she found herself in Troy when she passed away, actually in a temple to Athena, trying to commune and then speak and try and clarify what Athena's wishes were. So her sort of rueful laughter is this relationship she has with Athena. She is humanoid. She is average size, fairly strong, wears the sort of standard garments of the soldiers of the Trojan War, but with these like blonde hair and blue-gray eyes that stick out in Grecian times and in culture, and these gray eyes as a marker of Athena, similar to Rhosmenne sort of touting this like, my mommy's more powerful than yours sort of idea as she moves through as an agent of the goddess that she worships.
That's Annabeth.
Yeah. she's Annabeth.
You call her out like that.
Annabeth Chase for one.
And I think that's great.
Please.
I don't think it's a bad thing. We
But
love
she's my version of it, so she's a little bit more of an asshole.
I'm so excited for that.
Unlike
Thank you.
Annabeth, who's not at all.
Never.
Been an asshole.
Never.
No. That's Mel.
No. You're currently lying flat in the boat. Are you gonna get up and
I
look
get
around?
myself up. I get myself up out of the boat. I make sure. Obviously, I don't have any of my belongings, but I like check to make sure that I'm okay. Like what on my body is wrong.
Yeah. You, as you take in this moment, what are Mel's thoughts on where she is? Do you look around? You're checking your body. You don't see any difference. You're not wearing any of your soldier's armor that you have, but, just like your normal
Base.
base.
Yeah. I think.
And you don't find any, like, no more scratch. You're actually, all of the scratches and bruises that you're used to having are actually not present on your body. You can't seem to find a specific issue.
Oh, okay.
But your last moments were in
The
temple
and
of Athena, and then blackout, and then now you're here.
And I think that's her thought is like, oh, this is my mom's fault. Like, this is... I screwed something up, or I didn't do something the way she wanted, even though she's been not much help to me. And so I think there's with this, like, this rebellion and ire of just like, this might as well be happening, of course. Of course she gets her way and I'm here, and who knows? Who knows what happened? Sort of sits back down to just watch this ferryman row and take him.
As you sit back down, make a perception check for me.
Great. Oh, bad. So bad. 9.
Okay, you,
Really good perception.
yeah, really good perception. So you look at the back of this cloaked figure who's just slowly moving you.
It's kind of relaxing. I'm kind of falling asleep as why I'm so
You're relaxing and you're feeling the, like, sway of the boat is somewhat calming to you until you feel like, why, who cares
Yeah.
about any of this?
Yeah.
Why do anything at all?
Yeah.
Every goal that you had clearly didn't matter. You're here. You were praying in your mother's temple, and now you're here. It doesn't matter.
It's always gonna be this way. Anyway.
It was always gonna happen like this.
Yeah, you're right.
And as you're having those thoughts and moving back and forth, you catch an eye over and see that there are other boats with other ferrymen.
Cool.
Every other boat has many passengers in it.
Ooh.
You are the only one in a boat by yourself.
Why am I? I guess it can't matter if nothing matters. I look to see are the other people in other boats like interacting with one another? Or are they like
they don't seem to be interacting with each other, but they all seem to be having their own sort of processing what's happening to them. Some of them look very calm and are just looking forward. Some of them look really confused. You see many of them are recognizable to you because they're wearing either the garb of Trojan soldiers or Greek soldiers.
Gotcha.
Many of them with signs of that's where an arrow went in. That's where they were slashed with a sword.
I try to wave to a fellow soldier on the
You
Greek side.
I'll do a perception check for this guy.
Hey!
He looks over at you.
Hi!
You realize that the sound that you're making isn't pushing past the boundary of the boat that you're in, and you see him.
I can't hear you. Can you hear? I put my arm out past the.
You put your arm
boundary?
past out, and all of the muscles in your arm just go limp as they're trying to. Why even go past?
I didn't like that. Don't do that. I did.
He checks at him.
No, don't.
Suddenly his hand is
I said don't.
don't. And looks now mad at you and turns around.
Put your hand in there. Underworld sucks.
You are suddenly moved a different direction than all of the other boats are going, and you suddenly turn a corner, and the sound that you realized was muffled is now, there's now sound coming at you, and that sound is cries of pain, of horror, of torment, as you look across and see a field of people all wandering about that seem to all be looking for something and can't seem to see that there's anyone else around them. And you realize that you're staring at what has been described to you as the torture fields of the Underworld, of where lost souls go who lived bad lives and did terrible deeds and seem to now be forever searching for something they will never find.
This is why I said this is the Underworld, because this version is more matching of what was in my head.
Gotcha.
This earthy bodies on top of each other. I was like,
scary.
Yeah.
What if I imagine the pile of dead bodies?
What if that is?
I conjured. I think even with the sort of apathy of nothing matters, seeing
as you move past the torture fields, that feeling kind of dissipates.
Yeah, and I think as she starts to feel the care come back, it's fear. It's the anxiety starting to build. It's the reminder of why you fight and or flight.
You're feeling this adrenaline surge,
yes,
and realize that you should be feeling a heart beating fast, and you do not.
She's crying.
Cough immediately. As you start to laugh and then cough.
Yep.
You turn another corner and a resplendent palace is in front of you that reaches higher than you realize and you look up for the first time and realize you don't see a ceiling, you don't see a sky. It's just mist. Not sure what's up there, but what's in front of you is a gorgeous palace made of onyx and shadow.
Would I assume this to be where the king of the Underworld resides?
You would. I feel like that's a pretty safe assumption at this point.
Yeah.
And make a perception check for me as you get closer.
Bad rolls. 14.
Huh, that's not a terrible roll.
It's not good.
It's not great.
It's on the lower end
I mean,
of the
if you get less than a 20, it's a bounce.
20 or nothing.
No,
20 or nothing.
She just
I'm sorry, did I shoot for the stars here?
I don't ask my dice to be better.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair. You know what? That's fair. As you look up, you trace your eye at the very top of the steeple of this palace and go down to the front of it, where you follow a bunch of stairs that come down and see a lifeless body in front of the stairs. That seems to it seems to be completely out of place in this moment.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you realize one of its hands is moving in the river Styx.
I also just sort of like to myself. I won't do it because I'll die of coughing. But I think it is really like this place is hell. This place is torture. And I just know that I'll go take her hand when I land.
You get up to the ferryman with no visible reaction to another being around you, stops right in front of it. You see a set of stairs that goes up to a platform and then where the rest of the stairs go up.
I step out of the boat. I say, well, this has been fun.
As you step out and turn back around to say that, the boat is gone.
Oh, I blow an invisible kiss to the and I turn towards the figure I see on the ground. Hey, girl. Hey, girl.
No.
We're starting with a hey girl.
Hey, girl. You should move your hand.
There you go. It's making me feel better.
It is making you feel better, or it isn't making you feel better?
I feel like poop.
Yeah. And so for me, hey.
What?
I get down. It's okay. It's just the Underworld. You should take your hand out of the river Styx.
Make a you should take your hand out of it. Make a medicine check for me.
I would love to. Nope.
No, yeah.
I wouldn't actually. It's still gonna be interesting. That's a 9.
Okay. You see
I got
that
this.
it seems to be a trickle of water coming out of her mouth.
Why is
And as she opens her mouth, it there's just a vacuum of a void inside of her mouth. And it seems to be seeping out of it.
No. I grab her under her shoulder and pick her up to not quite standing, but yeah, resting her weight on mine like this to get her out.
As you're moved, Rosemary, you feel something gurgling in your gut that just should not be there.
Nope, you're coming with me. Nope.
I'm a bomb.
Baby bomb.
You see what you drank looked like water, and what comes out of your mouth is just pure black smoke.
Oh,
That congeals into a sort of gel form as it limps back to the water and joins the rest of the river Styx.
Pick the blob that starts moving oh my god, what? I didn't know that you could make that things.
Do I feel different?
You feel suddenly revitalized. You feel ready to go back. You need to find your mom.
I feel so much better. Can someone rally?
Thank you.
Yes. I kick the water. Bam.
Okay, splash it.
Bam. Why would you kick? Okay.
Because I am above it.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Boom.
I'm glad I could help.
Thank you.
She gonna give you a
Wow.
Thank you. I drank some of that and it was not good.
I think Mel does laugh. Why? Why?
I was thirsty.
You did not. Okay, rule number 1 of Underworld: don't ingest anything.
Have you been here before? You know how about
I mean, I know a little bit of the gods. Okay, I have a godly parent.
just rubbed me the wrong way that you
No,
did
no,
you
you
did
did
that.
No, my mom's Athena. It's a big deal, but it's not a big deal. So
You're
rule number 1
weird.
of the Underworld.
somebody has God Mom.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Yes, thank you. Got a problem with that?
No.
Or... Okay,
As
great.
long as you don't have a problem with me having God Mom.
Oh, you have a godmom.
Yeah, I do.
Who's your mom?
Would
One of
you
the
like
big-
to
one of the big
know?
ones?
Bing.
Oh. Okay.
tall are you?
Shorter than you. Like,
Boom.
Oh, no.
What? No.
Who gives people nookies?
Me.
Okay.
I'm Rhosmenne, the Crimson Aegis, daughter of Themis. I wasn't gonna tell you that. Okay, it's out now. I'm the daughter of Themis.
Themis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Titans. That's kind of like more of a.
Yeah. Well, it's like the gods defeated the Titans, you know. But I can see why you think it's huge. Themis. You don't meet a lot of demigods of Themis. Anyway, Miss Themis.
Didn't shake my hand on time.
Oh,
so.
sorry.
Nope, it's okay. I didn't
No,
keep it out. So.
I haven't introduced myself. Mel. Of.
Okay.
Athens.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Okay. So,
Thank you
You
again.
got a massive staircase up to a palace in front of you.
think we should go to the palace?
That's where I was headed, yes.
Yeah, you were definitely headed there.
I was
All
I was
by
on my
yourself in
way.
this thing.
Okay.
Okay. Shall we?
Actually, no, I'm gonna go.
And she, okay.
Boom.
Push the staircase is massively wide.
She
You,
doesn't-
you could go up.
It's to get
10
ahead.
people could. Oh, to get ahead
I
of.
want to be in front. It's not an aggressive one. It's just like a, please, citizen.
Yeah.
Please.
You start trotting up. It takes you a
right
while.
behind
It's-
her, also going fast, just to like
Yeah.
stay with.
You're getting up there, and as you start to be able to see the platform that you're eventually going to get to, you see a giant three-headed dog.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Its paws slumbering. One of its heads is on a paw. The other two are kind of nestled on either side.
Watch it. I'm gonna try to sneak past the door.
Make a stealth check.
And I don't have my armor on.
You don't have your arm.
Oh,
you
no
you don't have to do a disadvantage.
I gotta do better than Sophie, please. I do have advantage on stealth, so.
Okay. I got 11.
Okay.
23.
Hey! The DC for this was 20, so well done.
Uh-oh.
So,
But your ass is after mine, so it don't matter.
so
No,
you
I'm faster than her.
to sneak past. You go past one of its heads, and in the moment of trying to get around, the other head that's next to it breathes out all of a sudden, and kind of like takes you by surprise, and you stumble back enough that you hear your own feet scuff back, and its eyes open a little bit. As you are going the other way, you see that one of its heads is opening up and like starts nudging the other one, and the beast, all three of them.
I get
Start
out
to
of
wake up.
eyesight. I
Make
throw her in the wolves.
Make another self check for me, because like circumstances are very different from the
I'm
others.
gonna help because
How are you
No, I
going
have
to...
advantage. Let me show you.
let me show
They
you.
already have advantage and they don't
Okay,
stay.
okay, you don't need to help
Okay,
me.
period.
But you're like,
You
Yeah,
help
I'm like-
yourself.
Because you're doing good, and I feel like she's just like, hey, like
That
like
is
a little
a 19.
incredible. You are able to get around behind the dog.
Miss Fluffy.
Where are you focused on?
I'm gonna see what the dog does to Rosemary, but I'm not getting in the way.
Okay.
I'm looking out for me.
Okay. You are backing up. You're realizing that this dog, like, how tall are you again? 5 something?
Like 5'8".
5'8". The dog's like body part, like the legs and then the body is higher than your head.
Okay.
This is how large this dog is.
Gotcha.
And so you're like
Doggy.
going under and realize that you're under its tail as you back up and realize that you are against the doors of the palace that this dog is guarding.
Okay. I'm gonna like ready to open the door or try the lock or anything if I can. And I see the dog like go for you or do something else?
One of the, all 3 dogs, all 6 eyes, are just staring at you.
I'm just gonna. Hey.
Make an animal handling check.
Okay. That's it.
You probably got great animal handling.
Oh, you know.
That's not bad.
Unnatural 20.
Yeah.
Unnatural.
Oh, you have to say it a different way.
I said unnatural.
Okay, but so like when people would say a natural 20.
Dirty 20.
Thank you so much.
Bastard.
Bastard
20.
The dog, the head that first acknowledged you, the one on the far left, comes over, sniffs you. Your hair goes up as it sniffs you. It licks you from foot to head. And you see its tail just start to waggle.
Oh,
Can I try to like give it a little scritch on the muzzle or something?
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't. Wait, do it?
You go and touch it, it immediately.
Oh, sorry.
The other heads look like suddenly
I back off.
ears go flat.
No. I
Okay.
need it. We're cool.
And you're waiting as it licks from head to toe.
Yeah, I try to.
You
The
attempt to open the door, and as you go to open the door, you realize that there are no handles. And the door is completely standing still as if it is a wall. And in the moment of saying why, you watch as the dog's ears suddenly go very alert. It spins around immediately. All 6 eyes are now on you.
Hi, doggy.
The middle dog picks you up in its mouth. It turns, grabs you by its mouth, moves you over, stands you right next to Rhosmenne.
You hear the dollar
Licks
effect
you.
of my scream, like,
Licks you from foot to head and stares at both of you. And from there, we're going to move to our last new character.
Yeah.
Muqigo. You wake up catching a breath you didn't realize you were holding. You feel you're on a plank of wood, a wood that's moving. You're on a boat. You open your eyes, you see a cloaked figure, cloaked on its face. You see a skeletal hand out before you, waiting.
Hey, Muqigo. Nice to meet you.
I never gonna be able to take this
I was
seriously.
prepared for it and it still hurt.
It doesn't move.
We'll go the distance. Grab his hand for a high five.
Your hand goes through its hand.
Whoa! I face plant. I face plant. Just completely.
You fall to the bottom of the boat.
Hey, what gives? Oh, my eyes.
You did it.
Wait a sec. What's going on here?
You look around, you realize you're on a boat in water, and you feel this water is like acrid. It feels almost like acid, and there's steam coming up off of it that as you breathe it in, you just feel miserable and devastated and like the deepest loss that you have ever felt as you continue to breathe in these fumes with the skeletal hand in front of you.
Yo, do you have any air freshener? Ugh, things. Look, I don't really like the smell of this. I'm getting really, really seasick. Is there any way you could... Oh, okay. Right, okay. I didn't make a lot of earnings today at the time.
You pat around and find a coin in one of your pockets. The only thing... Oh, in your hair? Cute.
Can you read it?
And it has the symbol of your mother on it. Sign.
That's great.
You bite on it. Perfect cling.
I don't think cleaning is what you look for
I
when
think
you bite the
it's
coin. I think it's if
I
it
want to
bends.
make sure it doesn't bend.
Real gold your teeth go into.
What am I supposed to know about this?
You don't. Perfect. You don't.
No, but
Real
if it's real
Yeah.
metal, it's
It's
going to
Dracula.
make a sound. If it isn't, it's going to break.
What?
Like, Ben, what are... I'm moving.
Okay.
You're right and I'm dead. Okay, great.
There you go. Brace your last one. Sorry, I don't have any more.
It takes it. This coin disappears. It moves around and starts. The boat starts moving. You look around and see that you're next to two land masses on one side, and both are banked by people who are, like, some of them are standing talking to each other, some of them are sitting and staring. They don't seem to be aware of you, and you realize that there is, like, you suddenly are aware that there's, like, a shimmer of something around your presence here that makes it so they cannot be aware of you. Nobody's interacting with you or looking at you, but you can't see them. And there just seems to be...
They're on different boats or on their bank?
On the banks.
Okay.
As you continue to move, you see that there are people on the banks of this river, but then farther infield there are, like, beautiful fields of what seems to be parties going on. That there are fountains and fountains of wine going, and people with fans being fanned on them, and trays of food everywhere of every delight from every corner of the world. There, you hear music being played and people laughing and having a great time, and the tinkling of music carries you down this river.
Would you be pretty Underworld?
Yeah, what the hell? Beauty.
I got the dead body pile, slum, fire.
Sad, not worth living.
That's it.
I get a party.
What?
Yo, are we going over there? This rocks. Any chance I could...
Continue to smooth.
Hey, any chance we could join those people on the banks? I mean, I could really use... Not that I drink, but seems like there's something over there that looks... And you know, and then that's okay.
You move past, and the water takes you around a bend and leaves those parties behind. And you see instead the back of a resplendent palace made of onyx and shadow. And in front of it, you see a small garden of what should be like plants, but all seem to be paralyzed in time. They are... The flowers have blossoms that are full, but in their stillness still seem dead. And you are put up against a bank with a set of stairs that goes up onto a dirt path.
A dirt path. The stairs go up to a dirt path to the palace.
There's like a set of stone stairs onto a dirt path that, if you thought, like, there are very clear paths through this garden that goes up to the palace.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's a no on that. Alright. That's fine, I was getting pretty sick anyway. Hey, do you mind if I just, Sorry, where are my manners? Goes up to, like, look at his face and, like, shake his hand.
You attempt to turn.
I'm trying to, like, look at him, just get just a handshake, thanks for the ride.
Make a perception check for me.
16.
Okay. You attempt to go look around, and you catch as the figure moves, the hood raises just enough for you to get a glimpse of what's inside, and you see a void.
Over the side.
Onto the river or onto the path?
The river.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. It's not. It's not you. It's the smell and the rocking. That's. Sorry. Thanks for everything. I gotta go.
As you get up on this bank, you are trying to get yourself together after that strange moment, and you flash back to your last moments on the mortal plane. Would you introduce Muqigo to us?
Yeah. Okay. Muqigo is an elf bard, and he is kind of like one of the lost boys kind of thing. Like, he grew up an orphan, and was kind of more valiant in nature. Like, he knew how to have fun, but he also really wanted to protect the younger kids in that orphanage. Takes a liking to music. He is a son of Calliope, so he's really doing his best to, use these instruments, even though he might not be the best at them all the time, but he's really trying, and he really is trying to write. He's better with music than he is with writing, with like poetry, but he's doing his best. He's got beautiful dark chocolate skin, pointy elf ears, pointy nose, full lips, gorgeous dark brown eyes with like tiny, just every now and again, if you look super, super close, like flecks of gold kind of thing. His hair is about, I don't really know how to explain this he's got a frill, but the curls are like are looser. So like, I don't really know how much people are gonna, whatever. It's like a 3B curl. Okay. Anyway, he's got like a 3B curl, basically. And it's about this long out of his head. Let's see what else. Oh, he's like 5'5". He's not wearing any shoes. He's just very like modest. He's got like a green kind of toga on, and it's tattered and ripped in places everywhere. A bunch of sweat stains, dirt stains.
As you step up onto this dirt path, the dirt is packed very nicely, so there isn't. You feel like your feet might even still be that pretty clean after walking on this, even though it is technically dirt. You walk through the garden and you pass a beautiful, large fountain of water that's coming off. But as you see the water is hitting each terrace and going down, instead of the sound of water droplets hitting something, you hear conversations you've had in your life. Little bits that come out that tinkle as they come out, little songs that you've sung. And you look, do you approach the fountain?
Of course.
You come up closer to the fountain, and as you look in it, you see that each stream holds just a small window into experiences that you've had and things that you've seen through your eyes. If you look down into the pool of where it's all collected at the bottom, you can see that each wave is crashing through your own memories as the waves ripple around.
This is beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, I remember when I got that. That was the nicest gift anyone's ever given me. I remember why I said that. Walks around to the other side where it's not as embarrassing. This is really cool. Oh man, I miss my friend. I hope he's doing okay. Yeah. I think he's doing okay. Oh. And just kind of goes around, looks at some of the songs he's played and things like that. Some of those awesome moments. Some of the sadder nights when he was kind of alone in the orphanage and just felt lonely and that no one really like wanted him. And then the better nights when his friends would kind of give him a like pat on the back kind of thing, reassure him, that kind of thing.
As you're looking through these memories and seeing the good moments of your life and maybe the devastating ones, you come across the one that is most recent to you. Will you describe your last moments on the mortal plane?
Yeah. So Muqigo had just finished up doing a lovely show at the tavern. Everyone was hearing his name, that kind of thing.
Muqigo.
Basically, yeah. Yes. But he's really modest, so he gets away from the crowd, doesn't want any pictures taken, that kind of thing. He has like a safe place. So
Pictures in ancient Greece.
Yeah.
Pictures taken.
I realized we should go with the Justin Bieber.
Look, where I'm from, people really like me. And I deserve that. Well, I do my best to be good. Anyway. So he goes over and goes to a safe place. It's kind of like, just rock fixtures and like a creek kind of circling around everything, like a babbling brook sort of area, clearing that he kind of perches and sits at, and this is where he tends to like reflect and meditate, tries to write his songs, tries to write some poetry, just take some deep breaths and like ground himself. And he's sitting here and he's writing in his journal, and here's just kind of rocks falling, twigs snapping over there where like he's the only one who really comes to this place. He's never seen anyone here before. So he turns around and kind of investigates, turns back around, and is pretty much the last thing he remembers. He's just investigated something, turns back around black.
You feel a chill down your spine as you take in that last black. That there's nothing left, and then it's you waking up in this boat. But while you can't remember the event itself, you feel it physically violent. The path starts leading you to a grove of leaves that again look like they're in the brightest they should be, but in this dim light that doesn't seem to have a source, they still feel too perfect, too still. And as you continue to walk, I assume, you walk through and you see this path just continues to take you down, and it, you get the sense that you're not the first to walk through this. That it was... make a perception check for me.
Fuckers. Dirty 20.
You feel like you're not the first to be here, but the way that the air is moving through these leaves almost sounds like music to you. And you think of your mom, and you realize that the comforts that you've felt here seem like they're from her. And you feel a bit enclosed in this moment from whatever else is happening outside of past this boundary that's now been made. And you the leaves end, and you come across a large staircase, at the top of which you see two figures standing.
Covered in dog drool.
In dog drool.
He first turns around. I'm pretty sure I'm dead, but there's not a whole lot that's kind of suggested I've had a bad time. And I think that has a lot to do with you, Mom, wherever you are. Kind of just looks up.
Can you hear this, or is this to yourself?
This is just to my little Mama. Thanks for the good time. Appreciate it. Looks up the staircase, sees that, and is like, well, I guess I gotta keep moving forward. And starts going up the stairs.
You get up the stairs and you see two people who seem to have something very wet coming off them, and you are immediately met with 6 eyes and a very large dog sitting right in front of a set of doors to the palace.
Oh. This dog is so
Get him!
cute. If y'all play
Get him with the drool!
No.
What? He doesn't have any. Get him!
Is this dog yet? Oh, by the way. Yeah, Muqigo.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, Mel.
Actually, you're both kind of covered in...
Don't try to sneak past the dog.
Why would you try to sneak past him?
Because there's a castle door.
We'll just pet him.
I tried that. He was happy and then he wasn't. So don't pet him. He didn't like that.
The dog gets up as you have this conversation and comes over, takes a big sniff of you. Your hair goes up as you do it. Sniffs of you. Each head takes a sniff of each of you. And with that, turns around, and the doors on their own open.
What are you talking about? Seems like a pretty nice dog to me.
No. That was a magic key moment. That was like a magic 3-person key moment because those... You were... Right. He was pushing on them and they were...
We must be waiting for you.
The dog is continuing to move into the building.
Yeah, dog drool.
Didn't like me. Seems to like me pretty much.
We can fix that. And Rhosmenne grabs you. Grabs you. That's crazy.
And I walk, following the dog. I take off from these two.
Now all 3 of you successfully slimed.
Yeah.
You
Rhosmenne
walk-
gives you a pat. It's like...
You walk inside, and this palace made of shadows is pulsing faintly with memories of the dead. An endless hall stretches before you, so far you can't tell where it ends, and lit only by ghostly blue flames that cast no warmth. Statues of forgotten gods line the corridors, their eyes hollow, their expressions worn down by centuries of mourning. And the air is thick with the scent of cold stone, dry dust, and something older, something divine and decaying. The dog goes down and makes a left down a hallway that has pillars on either side and statues of female forms.
What's down the right side, Madison?
You look down the right side of that hallway. Make a perception check.
I'm gonna look too.
11.
Your curiosity hasn't killed you enough times already.
I'm not gonna do it. I just want to look. A little. 18.
You take a little peek and you realize that there is a door that has some light being cast out of it. The dog continues to move. Continues to move
I
down the
clock
left.
it and keep following the dog, not
Okay.
clocking Rosemary. I didn't roll very high.
I should be proud of me. Because I did a lot of. That didn't go well for me trying, so I'm just gonna. And I follow
Where'd you go?
Oh, just right behind the dog.
Hanging out with the dog. Great.
Kind of stepping away from Rosemary. I don't know their names yet. From those two,
You don't.
given I'm now covered in slobber.
You
Sure.
don't shake my hand.
Sure. You
It's futile.
go
I
up
can still
to the dog, goes down a hallway that feels longer and longer the more that you're walking it. Like you feel like you're almost on a treadmill of sorts, that you're moving, but you're actually not making any kind of distance until you suddenly see the dog is passed through a doorway.
Oh.
And it comes up to a doorway, the doors open, and it sits right outside, all 6 eyes now looking 2 on each of you.
So do we?
The door is.
We do the door.
I'm just gonna.
I
Seems like an
step.
invitation to
I
me.
step in that way with my hands, like nice doggy.
Muqigo pets the dog on the nose and walks in.
Make an animal handling check. Also,
Oh,
way
girl.
too tall for we can't put it on the nose.
Muqigo pets the dog on the leg.
Make an animal handling check.
Giving you.
16.
The closest one to where it's petting is the same one that you had. It has
It's a different dog.
it's a different. It has one of its ears has a notch in it that differentiates, and you see that it's the same one that you tried to pet. And it like comes over. It like kind of starts at you a little bit, and then sits back.
Thanks. Appreciate the door. Walks in.
Follow the boy. I'm following the boy.
Rosemary is like amazed by how much you didn't clock that, and then it's going to walk in.
Walking in, you see that this is a room that, in all appearance, should be set as a dining room, but seems in the how long it is. It's set up as like a long dining hall that a table should be set in the middle, but instead there is no table in the middle, and there is just a small table at one end, and 4 chairs are in front of it. Behind the table, you see a bunch of figures that some of you will recognize. There is a beautiful, stunning woman with flowing hair, even without any air to move it. Gorgeous, dark onyx skin, eyes bright, that light up when they see you enter the room.
Hi, Mom.
Stop that.
Hi, Mom.
Next to her, you see a woman with cloth across her eyes in a traditional Grecian robe, symbol that you will recognize as the symbol of Themis, holding the, I don't know if it's chiton or I don't know how to, anyway, it's a style of dress, and is moved across, and although her eyes are covered, she seems to regard you as you walk in. There's an empty seat, and then the seat next to that is a large man. All of these people are 8 feet tall. They are towering above you and seem to be like barely fitting next to each other behind this table. And the man that is on the end of it is in a modern day black suit, shiny black suit, perfect black tie with a small small flower in the lapel and hasn't regarded any of you and is holding a book.
Let's see.
You immediately clock in the corner is a woman with military armor, helmet on hip, and is tapping her foot.
She's not sitting?
No.
Is she, like looking impatient, waiting for us?
Make an insight check. Make it with advantage, because you know it's...
I know my mommy. Well, one of those was a nat 1, but instead I got a 15.
Hey! You've seen this before. She looks like, can we get this going, please? Like, she's ready to go. She immediately regards you.
I walk just loudly to get her, like, attention. It's not like I'm not like a hen, but I'm just making a little more noise than I would, like...
Why are you stepping like that?
She regards you, nods, looks to the seats.
The general in the corner?
Mm-hmm. We should sit down.
Yeah, I'm already loses it.
Oh, yeah.
With many,
Of course.
was kind of like louder and more. It's like,
And it's like sitting as soon as she sees her mom. And I can only assume that that's her.
That one?
Yeah.
As you all take your seats, Athena, bright eyes that you all both recognize, you've already looked into the face of these eyes that seem to be identical on this god and the girl sitting next to you. Girl. It's
Girl.
she, her, yes?
Girl,
Okay.
girl.
She stomps over, making very loud footprints and footfalls. Places her helmet on the table of where her seat would be, as if she's like would be sitting behind it. Turns to you and says, "Well, you took your time."
We had to get slobbered on by a dog first.
I wasn't slobbered on by the dog, but then this one...
I do not care. We have brought you here, as I'm sure you've assumed now, and both of you make perception checks for me.
Oh, yikes. 5. It's good.
22.
Oh, thank God.
As you have this moment of realizing, this is something that should have been earlier, so we're just gonna retcon that, like, you noticed this earlier.
Yeah, you knew.
When you first interacted with Mel, she looked totally fine. Like, you have a very clear, like, as you start to meet each other, Rhosmenne has a very clear line across her throat. You see shadows of handprints across Muqigo's throat, and you notice that the back of Mel's head is not there. It's...
But I haven't noticed.
Can I?
You have not noticed it.
Is he sitting close to me?
Yeah, you're sitting right next to it.
Just gonna.
Hey, stop that! Stop that!
What are you doing?
Is there blood? Is there blood on me?
No.
Stop.
Your head is gone. Your head is gone.
What?
You're being so disrespectful.
She says,
I feel my head really quick.
you feel your hair, and then nothing. And then it just drops off. And it, like, drops off, like, right here. Like, it just, the back of your cranium is not there.
My frenulum.
No!
She's a doctor.
My fontanelle. That's what it's called.
Not the fontanelle. Not the fontanelle. Watch.
She says, as I hope you would have all determined at this point, you have all been killed. Interestingly enough, all of you have been killed by the same man who is also all of your father.
What? What?
I know, Dad.
Doesn't respond to that comment at all, and says, we have elected to do something that has never been done before because of the grave circumstances of each of your deaths and those that are likely to come. We are going to send you back.
This is small.
Wait,
You
that's not supposed to be there?
in your distraction, she says, "Are you paying attention?"
Sorry.
The most attention. Father, dead, go back. Yes.
If you agree to our terms, you will return to the mortal plane, and you will find your father and kill him. She goes around the back of the table. Hades stands up, moves across. She steps in, sits down. He returns to his seat, reading his book.
How on earth has... like, she wants to ask, like, how did Hades agree to this? But she knows that that is, like, even more insubordination than she's already been doing. So it's just like, and how were the terms of this reached?
Themis gets up, moves around, and says, "We collected that the threat your father holds, clearly a threat to you and others, is large enough that we would like to take action." She, out of seems to be thin air, presents to you contracts in front of you that have a large signature line at the bottom, and she hands them each to each of you and says, "If you would sign here, you will be returned to the mortal plane with the understanding that you are following a mission of ours."
Can I insight check the contract? Anything else?
You can investigate the contract.
Yeah.
Can I as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody can do that too.
While they're doing that, can I talk to Themis?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that cocked?
And she seems to be like
It's cocked.
this.
So close to a nat 20, but you gotta honor the
You
cock.
have to honor the cock.
17.
Great. We'll address that in just a second. This one has like a cloth over her eyes, but still seems to be regarding you with very deep discernment. And she looks to you as these two are looking through the contract. She makes eye contact with you.
Mother, I do not question you and your actions, but is a contract really necessary? You can trust us. You've asked me to do so many things, and I've always done it for you. Do you need this?
Yeah, what she said.
If you have always done what I've said, why would you have an issue with a contract?
I'm a really fast reader. Give me some time to look this over. It's just, there are quite a bit of things on here, and you really did just ask me to kill Also, when you say others, what's the threat?
Themis looks to your, like, peppering of questions. Make an insight check.
6.
All you see in this woman's face is just, you see a eyebrow up, and she turns and nods towards your mother and sits back down. One moment, please. Calliope gets up. She comes over to you. She gives you a big hug.
Mom, come on.
She kisses you on the top of the head and whispers in your ear, "You seek the truth? How quaint, how neat. Beware, it bites and rarely sweet." Oh, she's a poet.
And you didn't know it.
Oh, good at that. Speak the truth. Alright, so maybe I don't need to know everything right now. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
She winks at you.
Oh,
Thanks.
cute.
Appreciate it.
And she hands you a pen.
So, it's safe to do this, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I had something. One moment, please. Before she responds, I want to honor your investigation checks.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you get on those?
11.
11 and 17. Okay. You see in the contract, it stipulates, like, there's a lot of legal language in this that you're just kind of, like, glazing over a bit. But you see that it has a bullet point of, like, return to mortal plane, kill father, and then it has a list of rewards at the bottom that include, like, a home, a safety, long life, peaceful death.
Okay.
You see,
Good bennies.
on yours there are more benefits, or not more, but just different. That you have a list of, like, you will always find purpose. You will always see have a fight to win, and you will always have a righteous cause to follow. You also see the stipulations, and I think that once you get to the rewards, you're like that. Then you have that interaction with Calliope, but you get past the rewards, and you see farther down that if this contract is broken, you will return to the Underworld immediately.
Got it.
I didn't read my contract.
You didn't read your contract.
I don't know nothing.
She hands you the pen and says, "Yes, it's safe. No need to fear. Peace and calm are drawing near."
Alright. Hey, why not? I'm due for another adventure. Sign's name. Terrible handwriting for Sign's name.
Great. As you sign it, you see it's the pen is coming out in a blood red, and as you finish it, the contract spins and disappears and you get the sense of a smell of cinnamon in the air.
That skeleton guy did the same thing with the coin. There's so much cool magic here.
Says the magic wielder.
Says the caster.
Calliope just gives you another hug and returns to her seat. Athena looks to you, has been staring, she seems to have a lot of things on her mind. While she is staring at you, you can tell that she's thinking of 15 other things going on, and is not in this present moment.
I meet her gaze to try to get her to come to the present just for a second. Like, I sort of
move.
Yeah, like, well...
You see her come back to this moment, and eyes sharpen as they look at you.
Heard. Clocked. I sign.
It spins, it releases, and you smell fresh outdoors, and and you also get the sensation of an arrow has been released.
I have a feeling, for sure.
Themis is sitting in front of you. Her eyes, though can't be seen, her posture is indicated in your direction.
I think when I have the interaction with her and she answers me about the contract, I think Rhosmenne looks at her, looks at the contract, and kind of looks up at her as kind of like a statement of like, I'm not reading this and I trust you, and signs it without looking, like, are you happy?
You blood red, perfect scrolled handwriting from you spins, releases, and you feel your spine erects slightly. You feel maybe even an inch taller.
6'1".
6'1".
6'1" unlocked.
6'1". Athena stands and gestures. She says, "Come." And
I stand, I approach.
She says, "Well, our journey might take you to difficult places, so I have decided to bestow upon you a gift.
Wow.
A gift to be used when necessary. And I assume you are wise enough, as my offspring, to decide between the two." And she presents in one hand bracers of archery, and in the other boots of Levantos, which are in our D&D terms boots of elven kind, and will give you advantage on stealth checks.
Boots! Give me the boots! Boots, mama. Boots, mama. Boots! I say boots, mama.
Oh my god.
I say, I'll take the boots.
Stone-faced, she throws them at you, and as you go to catch them, they land on your feet, and you are already wearing them.
Nice shoes.
Make a performance check for me.
Those are some fresh kicks.
Mm-hmm. Natural 20. And I say to her, and how do I look?
She has to.
Did you actually?
Honey, tell her she looks good.
My mom has to give me a compliment about my
He takes you a look down and up, and you see a slight smile on the edge of her lips that she quickly masks, and she sits down.
I strip back to my seat.
You look great.
Sit down with my boots.
Themis stands.
Boots, mama.
Themis stands. And ushers you over.
I stand 6'1",
6'1",
and I walk over to her.
and she says to you, "As my daughter, you might need some direction. So I decided to give you this." And she waves a hand over the table, and as she moves her hand, you see a deck of cards appears one card at a time in front. She goes over to the end and flips them, and as they flip over, you see a shimmer of events that have already transgressed of your journey through the Underworld, and then past this moment, you see in a card this moment happening, and in the next moment, you see Calliope giving something to Muqigo, and realize that she is giving you a deck of oracles.
Ooh. Whoa.
And she fans them, she spreads over them again, and they all appear in her hand, and she gives them to you.
Thank you.
That's a pretty cool deck of cards. Fanciest I've ever seen.
I try to do,
one of them fancy
Yeah,
shuffles.
yeah.
On the table.
do one of them fancy shuffles.
No, I did it in the air.
Oh, okay.
In the air. Good
Can I-
luck.
Make a,
I'm scared for you.
I feel like this is performance, but also deck space.
Sleight of
Let me
hand.
see which
Sleight of
one.
hand. Let's do sleight of hand. Yeah.
Okay.
Boom.
18.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay,
Don't
fancy
do it.
shuffle.
You go to shuffle, and you feel the magic of these cards.
It's like me. It's the magic of the cards.
Okay, let me finish.
Sorry.
Magic of this cards reaches out to your touch, and you feel in your arcane ability that it mingles together, and you are able to do a card trick of creating a small display of cards that come through and land perfectly back in place.
Whoa!
I initially immediately looked like, and then I go, yeah,
Whoa, someone
I did that.
Someone meant to do that.
I've never seen anything like that. Way to go!
I'm not gonna try to do it.
Calliope now stands, looking to you. She ushers you over, and she says, in a voice that everyone can hear but still sounds just for you, in a lilting, beautiful melody, you hear a sword, a smirk, a prayer, how grand. You'll need much more to make a stand. This charm I gift, not made for show, it lets you hear what others know. A whispered mind, a veiled intent, this medallion. And you feel a medallion just get present on your own self. This medallion hears what's truly meant. It bears the weight of will, to bend the mind or make it still. It reads minds, but fair is fair. Don't judge too hard what's lurking there. And she has gifted you a medallion of thoughts.
Bro.
In it, on the medallion is her profile, and then just a swirl in the center.
Oh, thanks, Mom. You really didn't need to get me anything. It's just a gift being here next to you. Honestly.
She gives you a big hug again, and then points at the chair.
Barely dabs at like a tear. Like uses his toga to like
Thanks, Mom. Really?
So cute.
sit down.
At this point, all heads turn to Hades, you have to assume.
Well,
He
yes.
snaps a book. His book closed. He's been reading this entire time. It's
Does it
not
have
remarked.
a name on it?
Can we see what book it is?
Oh yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
15?
13.
15.
2 15s.
Book readers.
You read in Greek on the spine as he puts it on the table. The tragedy of Orpheus and Eurydice.
You lived it, dude.
He's like,
Did you say that out loud?
Nope.
he's just sitting there like, I got him good.
Skip it then.
Make an insight check on him as he closes the book to stand up.
Yeah, is he smart about it, or is
I
he...
want to know.
Or he's not standing, he's just put it on the table.
18.
Natural 20.
Oh my
God.
Same dice. It's this one. She's
Yeah,
pretty.
okay.
You see just like a smirk on his face, and you interpret this as, God, they got so much wrong.
Like, immediate. I want to know me, Hannah, the person. I gotta go choreograph Hades Town after this. Tell me everything.
That's so true, actually.
Yes. Rocks.
They got so much wrong. So much wrong. He looks to the other gods and then looks back to the fourth seat that has been vacant this entire time and says,
Well, it looks like we've been stood up. This meeting is concluded.
and you feel a rush as yourselves feel as if you suddenly ascend. And in this moment, you have one last chance to make a perception or insight check. I'll let you choose on any parts of the room or on the individuals in it.
Insight on Insight on Hades?
You said insight or perception?
Insight or perception
I thought-
on one moment.
I'm gonna choose to do insight on the room, but I got a 10, so...
What are you looking for in the room?
He said we got stood up, and then I was like, who? Where?
You acknowledge that there's a fourth seat in the row that's in front of you. Like, there is 3 of you and a fourth on that it looks like somebody didn't show. And that there's a seat behind the table that also is vacant.
Interesting.
What'd you guys get and what did you roll?
17 on Hades.
What
For
do you
insight.
Insight? He looks he has spent this entire meeting reading a book. He does not seem he just seems like another day. Like this is just another thing that's happened on his calendar. It's not one of ill intent. It just is, oh, we've concluded and we're now done. What did you get?
23 perception, but I want, like, the room, but as we're leaving, like, or as we're feeling ascended, what is the, like, magic, or where are we in space, where are we going?
Yeah, you feel yourselves being pushed up to what you'd think is the ceiling of this room, and instead of an impact you hit, you just feel traveled, like, forth. Since you got such a high, and this is perception.
It's the same for insight, if that matters.
Okay. There's not much to tell about the traveling that you're doing here, so if you want to pick somebody else on insight, then
Yeah,
Boots Mama.
I heard he kind of got Boots Mama. I kind of got Boots Mama. I'm interested in Themis. Like, what is her angle here? Does it seem?
yeah.
Especially since Miss Thing didn't read her contract.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there?
Miss Thing?
You see in this last moment, as they are all concluding this meeting as well, you catch just a whiff. With that 23, you catch just a slight positioning away from Athena.
Got it. Blocked. Heard. Good.
And you all ascend up and feel yourselves all waking up in surroundings that you are in a tent suddenly, and you hear things happening outside and fighting happening nearby. That's where we're going to end for the
Yay!
Very nice. Hercules.
For joining us for this first session of our It's All Greek to Me campaign. We don't know when we're playing next. We're going to try and figure that out, and we will post about it soon. And then, of course, we will. If you can't make the live stream, we will of course post it on this channel that you're currently watching this on. Thank you so much. Would you like to say anything?
Goodbye.
Poetry.
The word.
Underworld.
Underworld.